Quite a time coming here. We've had the small ones out for about a year, and now we've got into the bigger models here. This is a 39-foot Ultra-Chisel you see here. It's a full floating tongue. One of the things that's unique about this is we can also do 9-inch spacing. Typically when you get into chisels, 12-inch spacing is what you generally see out on the market. So when we came with this 9-inch spacing, basically what we're trying to do here is give the customer a little bit more mixing of the soil and residue, but yet still fraction. We'll have some, we have our Turbo Chisel and our Max Chisel that we introduced about a year ago, and they take a lot of horsepower. So we've got some customers like in my area where they want to get a lot more footage, get a little more done, and still do some of the fracturing of the soil. So what you can do, a lot of times in my territory, the hard pan's only about 6 or 8 inches deep. So when it's only 6 or 8 inches deep, you don't have to go as deep as what they do with those machines. So this allows you to go get underneath that hard pan and still do a good job of fracturing side to side. So that's kind of the design behind it. The 9-inch spacing kind of is something that we have that a lot of people don't have. So when you go out to talk to a customer, one of the things you got to decide is, does he want 9-inch or does he want 12-inch? 9-inch is going to take a lot more horsepower, so that's the downside of the size of the 9-inch, but you're actually going to get more done. So I got a good chance to work with this machine with a customer of ours. When we go out, like Mike says, the voice of the customer. I went out to a customer of ours that had a couple of the brand X's. When I asked him about running a chisel, he said, you know, I don't know if I'm interested. And then I talked to him about the 9-inch, and that really intrigued him. He says, 9-inch would actually give me something that would be different than what I got. So when we got down there, he actually pulled a 9-inch 39-foot, just like we got here. They didn't have the baskets back here, but when he ran it out in the field, he called me right away and he says, man, you got to come look at this. And I said, uh-oh, we have problems? He said, no. He says, you got to see the job this thing is doing. So typically what this guy does is he runs his chisel on one side of the ground and his disc on the other side of the ground. As they move closer, the disc ground will work the chisel ground, and the chisel ground will work the disc ground. So when I got down there, he says, I don't think I have to take the disc where I run this chisel. My other chisels, I would have had to disc the ground. It's just burying that much more residue and working the ground up that much better. So what did the 9-inch spacing do for him? It basically eliminated a pass over. So that's really, you know, a great selling feature for us.